Welcome to Cruise Ship Crime Investigators, the book series. Book 2, Serial Killer.
Chapter 17, The Box in the Theatre. Captain Neil, Hunter and Kieran follow Ruby Jenkins down the theatre corridor. They pass old posters of classic productions, music song sheets, and actor press photographs set in frames against the red flock wallpapered walls, just like many theatres on land. She leads them past the upper rows of empty red velvet-coloured seats and turns left into the narrow passage. Awkward steps lead to the entrances of the ornate theatre boxes. Their destination is obvious. A junior officer stands outside. He slides the red curtain open. Inside, the lead medic, Manish, stands above the body of Bogdan, who lays out flat in a chair as if sleeping. "Geez, 4 deaths in 2 days. Someone has completely lost it," Hunter states. "At least we know where he is." "Where?" Neil asks. "On board." This will panic the guests, the captain worries. We're 1,100 nautical miles out, 3,300 miles to go, with a possible storm ahead. Head office could turn us around. It's 3 back to Panama, which is not an ideal place to go with a problem like this, 6 days all the way back to Miami, or 8 days to Tahiti at full speed to make up lost time. This is a big introduction for our new point man. He needs everything so he can get a start. Evidence and pictures of how we have laid out our boards, Kieran adds. My boards? Who are these pictures of my boards going to? Head office have set up a land-based team. We can cope. Ruby, we need their help, Hunter insists. Ruby nods. Fine, I'll copy them in on all my text reports as soon as you have a name and contact. His name is Dwight Ritter. He's running Sherlock too. That bottle, Kieran starts, looking down at the empty bottle of vodka on the floor. Yes, she replies. How much of that is in his bloodstream? That would tell us if the bottle was shared. If it was, he was either drinking with a friend or the killer is a drinker. Good call. Hunter agrees. Bottle empty, no more booze. He's useless. Kill him. Sorry? Ruby asks. It could have been half full when he started. No, Kieran says coldly. Nah, Hunter agrees. We need bar bills. Every dude who drank with Eric. Same bar, same time. Let Sherlock and Miami work canonical connections between the big drinkers. Ruby looks displeased at the added interference. We feed Dwight Ritter everything because the computer can find connections we can't see, Kieran explains. I'm glad he can help my department, Ruby states, showing that it is still her inquiry. I think we should get this body photographed, then to the morgue. We should finish dinner and get a good night's sleep. It's going to be an incredibly early start, Kieran suggests. I'll report back that we're discussing options and collecting evidence, and then rejoin you, Neil says, then leaves. Looking at the red marks on his throat, I would say he's been strangled, Manish suggests. Ruby takes a pair of gloves from her assistant security officer, Lau Lakhani, standing 2 steps behind and watching every move by the team. She puts her hands around his neck for just a few seconds. Bigger hands than yours, Miss Ruby, Lau says. He has a huge neck. I'd need a rope. Ruby looks down at the empty half bottle of vodka on the floor. There are no obvious clues. Lau hands her the evidence bag, which she uses for the bottle. Lau seals the bag. Ruby, Hunter and Kieran look out from the box at the dark stage with its vacant orchestra positions, set back behind a single microphone. She looks down to the seats below in the stalls. Kieran studies the ornate trimmings on the architecture. I would need a team chasing me with loaded weapons to consider that drop as an escape route. Anywhere in the stalls or on the stage might be covered by cameras if they have been left recording, Lau says. They won't have been, but check them please, Lau, Ruby asks. Kieran steps back out through the curtain and looks up and down the passage. The obvious is favourite. He walked out, either left or right. "I need a cold one," Hunter says. The atmosphere is solemn in the captain's dining room. The three sit at the table, the two agents fueling energy into their brains that are working overtime. Ruby, however, picks at her food, thinking out loud. The orchestra is a mix of Romanian, Hungarian and Ukrainian. Only the musical director speaks English. They're all big drinkers. The captain enters. "For the moment, as we have a working system in place between you and Dwight Ritter, we sail on towards Tahiti. Tomorrow morning, the decision is 200 miles harder. We arrive in 7 days. We're on our own for at least 4. Then my guess is they will be flying people out to join us. No pressure, team, but I don't want another murder on this ship." Chapter 18. 4th Day in the Pacific. Kieran is the first on the sun terrace at 0600 hours. The deckhands have not even begun to put the sunbeds out. He lays flat on the floor looking up, imagining the star show. The sun is already hot in his face, making him squint. He turns his head sideways and experiences the restricted view anyone but those next to him would have had. "You're in the wrong place," he hears. He swings his head back to see Ruby standing behind him. "It's not easy to look around. Join me," he offers. "Here." Ruby walks to the rail where Donna was killed. It overlooks the middle of the ship and the pool area. She lays down with her feet to the modern palisade that is partway filled with glass panels between the older wooden handrail and the white iron structure. Kieran rolls and rolls to get near to her. Then he turns his head to see her. "I can't see past you. This is weird," he says slowly. "I'm the one laying where Donna was murdered." "Did you sleep well?" Kieran asks, changing the subject. "Very well." "Me too, like a log. I always sleep well in the Pacific. It's my favourite ocean." Kieran spins onto her in an instant, covers her mouth with his hand, loops his leg over her body, and he smothers her. She starts to resist, gasps for air, but then figures it's not worth it. She cannot move. "Housekeeping," Hunter says, looking down at them. Kieran lets her go. "You overstepped your boundaries," she says angrily. She did not like being pinned down. "It was a reenactment of a surprise attack, and you were useless." "How was it for you, Ruby?" Hunter drools. "It wouldn't be the same second time around," she adds. Donna didn't get a second chance. In a burst, Ruby swings her leg in a wide arc, aiming to kick at Kieran, but he springs up and vaults the rail. On the other side of the handrail, he hangs, one hand up on the rail, the other on the middle glass panel. He looks back through the glass at the annoyed Ruby. "You need to vanish very quickly," she says. "That's the point. It is dark, and the lights are out. No one can see me." His right hand drops to the glass, his left fingers down to grip the deck flooring. Then his right drops and grips the deck. He hangs out of sight, below their floor level. Ruby's shoe stamps on his fingers, and he drops. "I see you two have hit it off," Hunter growls, as they step forward to look down. Kieran rolls out next to the pool bar. Had he been a few feet further round, he would have hit the awning over the bar. He jumps up, and with a slight limp, until his body recovers, he enters the empty pool bar. Kieran looks around the dead space, then pushes the swing door next to it, which goes into the service area. It is unlocked. "Sir, breakfast is this way," a deckhand offers, pointing him to the back of the Lido deck. Ruby and Hunter join him. She glances at the badge of the deckhand who chased Kieran. "Thank you, Penang," she smiles. Hunter watches Penang bow, retreat, then while working with the other deckhands, chatter. "Rumours are spreading already. The crew know there's a killer on the ship. The passengers will know soon. Hunter says. Kieran appears back in the empty pool bar. The area is assessed easily when it's closed. But the drinks are locked away. It closes at 7 after sundowners, Ruby informs him. Exactly. It changes character. So what was Kirshner doing here at nearly midnight? Kieran asks. Coffee, Hunter announces, leading them to the buffet. Was Kirshner in the bar area when the Lido deck was lit and got caught in there when the lights went out? And if so, why didn't the officers on watch see him? Kieran muses. Or did he hide in the service area when the officers appeared? Hunter offers. Why? He was outside when the killer dropped down, Ruby says. Then, in the sea. Kieran looks at Ruby. She is still annoyed with him. If I had a knitting needle, you'd be dead, she spits. That wasn't the murder weapon, Kieran boasts.